Hello, I'm Jane Gardner. I run JP Gardner and Associates, a digital marketing agency that works with estate agents and letting agents all over the UK. I actually was a practicing estate agent for many years. I started in the mid-80s with a well-known national brand as a sales negotiator, and then I sold my own business in 2014 to Countrywide. So I'm giving you today 3 tips which hopefully will help you with your career. So the first one is to be your own brand. It doesn't really matter what the name is above the door. People will buy from you or rent from you and will transact with you. So it's very important for you to build your own identity within the company you're working for. And I would say we always follow the P's, so professionalism or being polite, having a great personality and being persuasive. So if you can master all of those 4 things, then I'm sure that you'll be an amazing estate or letting agent. My second tip is to think of your customers as 4-dimensional. So what I mean by that is if you're dealing with a seller, don't try and think of them just in the seller's box. Think that they might actually be a buyer, they might be a landlord, they might be a tenant. Everybody has the ability to be 4-dimensional, so you shouldn't treat anybody any differently. It happens quite a lot when people work in a specific department and they might have a shared phone system, for instance, and you pick up a call and it's property management, so it could be a landlord or a tenant calling, and perhaps you don't want to deal with them, and perhaps the person isn't available, and you might not be as forthcoming with them and as friendly and as obliging with them as you would be if it was someone that was looking to buy a 6-bedroom detached house or looking to book a valuation. So just remember that person might actually be someone that you're going to come across in your job as well. So if their hat changes and you're dealing with them and they've come across you before and you haven't been quite so polite, that could affect you. So please treat everybody in exactly the same way. It doesn't matter if they're your tenant, if they're your buyer, if they're your seller, if they're your landlord. They should all have exactly the same treatment. My final tip is to keep on learning. I'm definitely the wrong side of 50 now, and I still learn every day. I don't only just read the industry news in the morning. If there's something that I'm not sure of or something that's new that's happening, I'll look it up and I'll learn about it. I do write a lot of blogs for my clients, so obviously it's important for me to understand what's going on in the industry, whether they be sales or lettings. I write and I mark the level 4 examinations for ALA, so again I need to know every piece of lettings legislation that's going on. And I belong to groups. I for many years was a member of the Property Academy. It was hugely important to me, so thank you to Peter and the gang at the Property Academy and to everybody that I met through that group. It's hugely important to be able to speak to your peers, to be able to share information with each other and to learn from each other. And I think that that is something that you should 100% be doing in your career, making sure that you are not sitting back on your laurels and letting the year pass you by without changing. Our industry changes more than probably most industries, and it's incredibly important to keep up with that. I have to build my business very differently from the 80s to the 90s to the noughties to the 2010s and to now the 2020s. We will find new things cropping up all the time. That doesn't mean we automatically throw away everything we did before and start with something new. We look to adapt, we look at what is available and pick the bits that are good for us. You've got to fit everything into the way that you work, and everybody works very differently. And again, your personality and your brand, your own brand is important. So you don't want to just completely change everything, but you do have to keep changing, keep learning, and keep making sure that you are up to date with everything that's happening. So hopefully one of those tips is good for you, and I look forward to bumping into you at some point in your career. Thank you for listening.